the first human railgun. The stars burned cold and distant above the testing grounds on Europa, Jupiter's icy moon. Humanity had colonized the solar system's fringes, but this was no ordinary day. The air inside the reinforced dome crackled with tension as scientists, engineers, and military brass crowded around the control center. Outside, a sleek, kilometer-long electromagnetic railgun gleamed under floodlights, its barrel aimed at the void. This was Project Prometheus, the culmination of decades of human ingenuity, desperation, and defiance. And today, it would fire for first time. Lieutenant Commander Zara Kane stood at the heart of it all, her breath fogging the inside of her visor. As the lead test pilot, she wasn't just overseeing the weapon's activation. She was strapped into the prototype payload, a human-rated projectile designed to survive the railgun's hypersonic launch. The idea was insane. Propel a human at speeds no living being had endured, across vast distances, to deliver a strike no alien empire could ignore. Kane, a former asteroid miner with a knack for surviving the unsurvivable, was the only one crazy enough to volunteer. Commander Kane, vitals check, came the voice of Dr. Elena Voss, the project's chief engineer, through her comms. Heart rate's elevated, but I'm not dead yet. Kane replied, her voice steady despite the butterflies in her stomach. She was strapped into a gel-filled capsule, surrounded by layers of carbon nanotube, shielding, and inertial dampeners. The capsule was a marvel, designed to keep her alive at 50,000 kilometers per hour. Barely. Railgun charging to 80%, Voss announced. Final safety checks complete. You ready, Zara? Kane grinned, though no one could see it. Born ready. Let's make history. Humanity hadn't always been the underdog. When the galactic Concordance, a loose alliance of alien empires, first made contact in 2073, humans were cautiously welcomed as a curiosity. A young species, scrappy but resourceful, with a knack for reverse engineering tech. But curiosity turned to contempt when humanity refused to kneel. The Concordance demanded Earth's resources, its labor, its compliance. Humanity's answer? A middle finger and a fleet of jury-rigged warships. The war that followed was brutal. Earth's colonies on Mars and Titan were glassed. The lunar shipyards were reduced to craters. But humans didn't break. They adapted. They scavenged. They weaponized everything. Asteroids, fusion reactors, even their own biology. The Concordance, with their sleek bioships and plasma lances, underestimated humanity's tenacity. That was their first mistake. Project Prometheus was born from that defiance. The railgun wasn't just a weapon, it was a statement. A single shot could cross the solar system in hours, delivering payloads, human or otherwise, with pinpoint accuracy. No alien shield could withstand its kinetic force. No fleet could outrun it. And today, Kane was a payload. Charging complete, Voss said, her voice tight. Railgun at full power. T-minus 10 seconds. Kane's capsule vibrated as the electromagnetic coils hummed to life. She closed her eyes, picturing the target, a derelict Concordance frigate orbiting Callisto, left behind as a taunt after their last raid. The aliens thought it untouchable. They were about to learn otherwise. 5, 4, 3. The countdown echoed in her helmet. Her mind flashed to her childhood on Ceres, running through mining tunnels, dreaming of the stars. She joined resistance to fight for those dreams, for humanity that wouldn't bow. Now, she was about to become the fastest human in history. 2-1 fire. The world dissolved into force. Kane's body pressed into the gel, every cell screaming as the railgun unleashed its power. The acceleration was beyond comprehension. 20 GS, then 30, then more. Her vision tunneled, but the capsule systems held. Dampeners absorbed the worst of the shock, and nanites in her bloodstream kept her organs from liquefying. She was a bullet, a comet, a god of speed. Then silence, weightlessness. She was in space, hurtling toward Callisto at a velocity that defied reason. The capsule's HUD flickered to life, showing her trajectory, a perfect arc across the Jovian system. ETA to target, 47 minutes. Zara, you alive? Voss's voice crackled through the comms, distorted by distance. Barely. Kane gasped, her chest heaving. That was one hell of a ride. You're on course. Vitals are stable. The Concordance won't know what hit M. Kane smirked. They'll figure out when their ship's a cloud of debris. Far beyond Europa, in the glittering halls of the Concordance's flagship, the High Arbiter of the Zyker Dominion lounged on a throne of living crystal. The Zyker were the Concordance's enforcers, telepathic, insectoid, and utterly convinced of their superiority. High Arbiter HFY.SCI.FI monitored the human war with detached amusement, its mandibles clicking as it reviewed reports of yet another failed human counterattack. These primates are persistent. It mused its advisors, their minds linked in a chorus of agreement, but they lack the elegance of true power. Their weapons are crude, their tactics desperate. A subordinate, its carapace shimmering with bioluminescence, projected a hologram of the solar system. The humans have activated a new device on their frozen moon. Projectile launcher. Primitive but large. HFY.SCI.FI's compound eyes narrowed. A toy. Let them waste their resources. Their defiance only delays the inevitable. The subordinate hesitated, its thoughts tinged with unease. The device's energy signature is unusual. It rivals our own reactors. HFY.SCI.FI dismissed the concern with a flick of its antenna. Monitor it. If it poses a threat, we will burn their world to ash. Kane's capsule screamed to the void, its exterior glowing from friction with stray particles. The HUD displayed the target. The Concordance frigate, a sleek, organic vessel the size of a small city. Its hull pulsed with bioluminescent veins, a testament to Zyker engineering. Kane's mission was simple: deliver a fusion warhead directly into its core. The Railgun's precision made it possible. Her survival was secondary. She activated the capsule sensors, scanning the frigate for defenses. The aliens hadn't bothered to activate its shields, arrogance, or ignorance. Either way, it was her opening. The warhead, nestled in the capsule's nose, was armed and ready. All she had to do was survive impact. 30 seconds to target, the HUD announced. Kane's heart pounded. She wasn't religious, but she muttered a prayer to whatever gods might be listening. The frigate grew larger in her view, its hull a grotesque blend of metal and flesh. She braced herself, knowing the next few seconds would decide everything. Impact. The capsule punched through the frigate's hull like a needle through silk. The warhead detonated, a miniature sun erupting in the ship's core. The explosion was silent in the vacuum, but Kane felt the shockwave through her capsule. Her HUD screamed warnings, structural integrity failing, systems overloading. She ejected, her suit's thrusters firing as the capsule disintegrated. She tumbled through space, the wreckage of the frigate blooming behind her like a cosmic flower. Her suit's oxygen was low, but she was alive. Against all odds, she was alive. On the Zyker flagship, alarm shattered the calm. HFY.SCI.FI lurched upright, its telepathic link flooded with panic from its fleet. The hologram flickered, showing the frigate's destruction in real time. A pinpoint strike, impossibly fast, impossibly precise. The humans had done this. The primates. Impossible, HFY.SCI.FI hissed, its mandibles trembling. No species can strike so swiftly across such distance. The subordinate's bioluminescence dimmed in fear. The energy's signature, it matches the device on their moon. They've weaponized their kind. High Arbiter. A living projectile. HFY.SCI.FI's mind raced. The humans were no longer a nuisance. They were a threat. A single shot had obliterated a Concordance warship. What could a fleet of such weapons do? The other empires, the fungal collectives of Thar, the crystalline hive minds of Korath, would demand answers. Fear would ripple through the Concordance, undermining its unity. Recall the fleet, HFY.SCI.FI ordered. Prepare for a full assault on their system. We end this now. Back on Europa, the control center erupted in cheers as telemetry confirmed the frigate's destruction. Voss wiped sweat from her brow, her hand shaking. She did it. Kane actually did it. Admiral Chun, the project's military overseer, stared at the data. 1 shot, 1 kill. Across 500 million kilometers. The Concordance won't laugh at us anymore. But the celebration was short-lived. Sensors detected a massive energy spike. Hundreds of Concordance ships mobilizing near Saturn. The aliens were coming, and they were angry. Kane's voice crackled through the comms, weak but defiant. This is Kane. I'm alive, drifting near Callisto. Frigate's gone. Send a damn pickup before I freeze. Voss laughed, tears in her eyes. Rescue's on the way, Zara. You just changed the war. The Concordance fleet arrived days later, but humanity was ready. Railguns sprouted across the solar system, on moons, asteroids, even Earth's orbit. Each fired human-guided payloads, turning soldiers into living weapons. The aliens, accustomed to slow, elegant warfare, were unprepared for humanity's reckless precision. Ship after ship fell, their fleet scattered by kinetic strikes no shield could stop. HFY survived the first wave, but its confidence was shattered. The humans were no longer prey. They were predators, wielding a weapon that struck fear into every empire. The High Arbiter sent a desperate message to the Concordance. Cease hostilities. Negotiate peace. The humans cannot be contained. On Earth, Kane recovered in a medical bay, her body bruised but unbroken. She watched the stars through a viewport, knowing the war wasn't over. But for the first time, humanity held the advantage. The Railgun was their defiance, their proof that no empire could outlast human will. And out there, in the cold void, the stars no longer seemed so distant.